So in today's video, we're going to be giving you guys the complete guide on when to buy absolutely anything going into the Black Friday market crash. But before we do start that, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily subscriber trading guide over on Twitch. All you got to do is click on the top link on the description and subscribe over on Twitch. Again, it is free with Amazon Prime. If not, it's £5, €5 or $6. In there, you get yourself daily updated investing guides and daily updated shadow and silver prices to help you guys with either trading or investing. So in today's video, we are going to be walking through basically the buy time on absolutely everything going into Black Friday. This is because there are loads and loads of different sort of buy time, subjective if you're buying stuff in packs, are you buying stuff that's out of packs, are you buying icons, are you buying impact promos, re-release team of the weeks, current team of the week. There is so much to go and talk about. So without further ado, let's go and get underway with when to go and buy stuff going into Black Friday. So the first thing we are going to be talking about is going to be gold cards who aren't going out of packs for promos or re-releases. Now last year, the vast majority of gold cards that were expensive actually got re-released during promos. They either were released as a Thunderstruck card, such as stuff like Vinicius Jr. They're re-released as a promo card, stuff such as Hansen, stuff such as Mbappe, stuff such as... what else did we go and get? Basically every single top end gold card. If they didn't get re-released in one of those two things, well then they got re-released in the team of the week where we got re-released Van Dijk, re-released Heung-min Son, re-released Valverde. There were generally next to no base gold cards that weren't either re-released or in the current promo team. In fact, the only two expensive players that weren't re-released were Putellas and Salah. Meaning if you guys want to go and buy a gold card that is not going out of packs during Black Friday, this is your buy time. So the first buy, we'll start with Putellas. Her cheapest, so for reference throughout the whole video, Black Friday last year was on the 24th. Obviously this year it is on the 29th. So last year, Black Friday occurred on the 24th, and we can see that the Putellas dropped till the Friday, Sunday, and then was also cheap on the Monday. So I'd say Sunday evening after 6 PM content would probably have been your cheapest time. But what about for the likes of Salah? Well, because Salah is 1/3 of Putellas' price, he actually had a bit of a different trend. We can see that Black Friday occurred here, and he drops on the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Drops on the Thursday, had a bit of a rebound Thursday to Friday, but wasn't that good. Meaning, any gold card who is 100k or below, the cheapest time to go and buy them is going to be next Thursday. So not the upcoming Thursday, but the Thursday after. Although I understand that they don't really rebound. Whereas something that's more expensive, I'd say especially 200k and above, which don't get me wrong, there's probably only about 4 or 5 players this year. They were the cheapest Sunday, 2 days after Black Friday, would have been after 6 PM content, and then they did go and then proceed to rebound for 2 weeks. So gold cards that aren't going out of packs, we're either looking at over 200k on the Sunday, under 100k on the following Thursday. But again, you know, there isn't really much of a rebound on those cards under 200. Well, what about gold cards who are re-released as promo cards? So again, Mbappe got re-released as a Thunderstruck card. So when was the cheapest to buy Mbappe? Well, that was actually Thursday before he went out of packs. Black Friday is here. So again, unlike the cards that are in packs, you'd actually go and buy them 1 day before Black Friday. We can go and show you Hansen. Hansen got re-released during Black Friday for that. Therefore, her cheapest was Wednesday, but we're going to say Thursday just because, again, it goes and kind of fits the rest of the trend. So you can see Thursday. We're then going to move to the next player, Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. was out of packs because he got a Thunderstruck card. When was he the cheapest? Well, we can see Wednesday and Thursday. We then move to Van Dijk. Van Dijk was re-released in packs as a 90 rated in form. When was his the cheapest? He was the cheapest Wednesday. Do you know, actually, there's more Wednesday than Thursday at the moment, which is interesting. We then move on to Neymar, who was out of packs for Thunderstruck. You can just see they took every single expensive gold card out of packs. And he was the cheapest the Wednesday before Black Friday, although it did drop initially before having a rebound. Again, though, you can see these sort of cards here, the 100k cards just weren't that amazing when they went out of packs. And that is, I guess, going to go and wrap up a lot of the gold cards. So the cheapest time to go and buy them was the Wednesday before they went out of packs. Just understand, if they aren't over 100, well, there's no real guarantee they do that well out of packs. Van Dijk, we can see, went from 140 to 180, which was really nice. We can see Vinicius did... was it 570, and he got up to, I mean, after a week or two, 650. If we go back there to Hansen, she did 414, went up for 2 weeks for 510. And finally Mbappe, we can see, was there 2.2 million, rebounded 2.4 million. So even on the expensive cards, they actually only rebounded for 2 weeks before dropping. So you can see that the market isn't really too progressive. Now let's go and talk about the promo cards that were re-released. So if you guys don't know, During Black Friday, EA re-releases some of the most expensive promo cards that were released through the first 2 months of FIFA. Well, when was the buy time on them? Well, expensive cards like Mbappe, you can see, actually never really rebounded. He kind of just held for 2 weeks, then dropped. So unlike some of those golds who rose for 2 weeks, then dropped, he kind of just held. Monday, I'd say, so 3 days after Black Friday, was kind of a cheap point there. We can also see Monday being a reoccurring cheap point here for Cancelo. Cancelo was a little bit more positive than other promo cards. That's because he was a Barcelona promo card, and Barcelona promo cards did very well over Black Friday due to the It was the Frankie de Jong Thunderstruck card getting re-released. We can see that he rose for 2 weeks, just like a lot of the rest of the market, from 185 up there to 232. I think the reason they only rose to the 8th of December is the 8th of December, I'd want to say, is when we had the Champions League Heroes, which is when I think a lot of the market when it dropped, if I'm not wrong. We can see Sophia Smith, again, the cheapest on the Monday, and then she rose for 2 weeks. Actually, she rose for 3 weeks. So, reoccurring trend, I mean, we'll wrap this up quickly, but you can see Monday, and you can see, well, that kind of wraps that up. So, Monday, 3 days after Black Friday, so Friday to Saturday, they dropped, Saturday to Sunday, they dropped, Sunday to Monday, they dropped, and then they rebounded on the Tuesday, meaning you want to go and buy them on the Monday. Which is interesting because, in comparison to the gold cards, I think the gold cards were a buy on the... When were they a buy? They were a buy on the Sunday. So, interesting that the Impact special cards compared to the Impact Gold cards dropped for yet another day. Then we're going to look at the Impact Informs. Now, interesting enough, Van Dijk was re-released, and this card only went up. Now, I don't believe it was this card that was re-released. No, it's a Team Week 24. So very, very interesting that Inform Van Dijk got re-released, yet didn't actually drop when he was re-released. He just dropped in the anticipation of it. As you can see, in the anticipation, he went from 600 down to 480. But actually, when this card was in packs, he rebounded from 500k up there to 650k. Around about 2 weeks later. Well, again, that wasn't really the norm for the expensive cards. In fact, look at this. You can see something like Bellingham drop from 280k all the way down there to 71k, being the cheapest on the Sunday. So again, that would have been 2 days after Black Friday. We can then go and see the likes of Griezmann again kind of crash. Black Friday occurring here, dropping and dropping and dropping. He was actually the cheapest Thursday with Division Rival Rewards before rebounding a little bit, but then dropping a bit again. A lot of people are always under the misconception that just because the market drops a lot going into Black Friday, it rebounds after. Honestly, unless they were link investments for over 700k, they really didn't do that well. Valverde, we can see drop from 800k. He was the cheapest on the Thursday, so some of the team weeks that were re-released were the cheapest on the Thursday over the Sunday and the Monday. Why would that have been? Well, potentially due to Division Rival Rewards. I mean, especially this year when team weeks are in packs. So, yeah, Thursday I think is going to go and be the buy on the re-release Team of the Weeks, whereas Monday is the buy time on the re-release special cards. Well, what do we have here? What about special cards that weren't re-released? So we were just looking at, again, some of the re-release ones. What about the ones that weren't re-released? Well, we can go and see the likes of Kalulu, and we can go and see that... Actually, wait, ignore me, Kalulu was re-released. Go and look at the likes of Sissoko, and we can see that Sissoko was the cheapest on the Saturday after Black Friday. So the day after Black Friday. We can then go and look at Guerreiro, and again, Guerreiro kind of had slightly different trends where she was the cheapest on the Monday after Black Friday, but again, just no real great rebound. But there you go, Monday after the Black Friday. We see Harry Kane right here. He had a few low points, but I mean, it was the Monday after Black Friday where he rebounded. We can then go and look at the likes of Krichawi, if we can go and head over to here. And Krichawi actually went against the normal trend. You can see she rose during Black Friday. Why did Krichawi rise during Black Friday? Don't worry, it's pretty simple. She's strong like that Mbappe. If you remember, we got an Mbappe POTM, so she rose. So link investments can go and counter the traditional drop. Then we look at Frimpong. Frimpong was not re-released. He did have a promo card that was put in packs. But once again, we can see the Monday after Black Friday being yet another low point. So for special cards that aren't re-released, we're looking at the Monday after Black Friday, so 3 days after Black Friday. Now we're going to move on to icons. We've got a massive array of icons because what I want to show you is I want to show you a regressive trend basically as the price increases. So a lot of people ask me about, well, I say a lot of people, a few people ask me when's the best time to go and buy their icons. Well, last year it was best to go and buy them on the Thursday. Interesting, again, the gold cards who went out of packs were the cheapest on the Wednesday, but yeah, the icons were the cheapest on the Thursday. Then we can see a crazy rebound here from 4.1 million. I mean, it's not that crazy, up to 4.6 million over 2 weeks. We can see this also happened with Ronaldo. We can see on the Thursday he was 9.1 million, and then he rebounded up to 10.3 million over 2 weeks. Ronaldinho, we can see was the cheapest here on the Thursday before before Black Friday. Interesting enough, he didn't really rise much on Friday. This is potentially due to him having a Thunderstruck card himself, but he went and rebounded from 4.7 up there to 5.6. Rebounded for 3 weeks there. So again, we can see that Henry. Now we've kind of started to look at slightly cheaper icons here. Obviously we're looking at 4.7. We've jumped now to 1.7. I just want to show you this because I want to show you how the trend kind of differs across the board. So we can see that Henry, again, did rebound from the Thursday, but he didn't rebound anywhere enough. Well, it's not enough, but he didn't rebound anywhere near. Rebound anywhere near. Whereas Ronaldinho rebounded 900k. Yes, he's 4.7, but we can see that Henry only rebounded, what is it, 150k. So for being 4 times, For being 4 times cheaper, he didn't go and rebound. Basically, proportionately, he rebounded less than the likes of Ronaldinho, and you're going to see this happen a lot across the board. Also, Ronaldinho rose all the way through to here, whereas Henry rebounded for less because he got replaced faster. Zico, we can again see 2 million coins. He rebounded there to 2.5 million, but unlike Ronaldinho, where he rebounded all the way till there, he did go and drop later. Also understand again, look at this kind of rise and drop. They went from 2.1 million, they crashed down to 1.8 million by the end of December. It's not just an upwards path. That's because of the panic around Black Friday. We can see right here, Sauer, she went from 710, although he did actually have a pretty decent rebound right here. Interesting enough, she wasn't the cheapest on the Thursday before going out pack. She actually dropped on the Saturday. And I believe that might have been because there was an icon SBC that replaced her. But nonetheless, even if you had to go and buy on the Thursday, she still went from 750 up there to 920. So it wouldn't have been too much to worry about. Sanchez, interesting enough, was not the cheapest on the Thursday. So again, the rest of them were the cheapest. Sorry, ignore me. The rest of them were the cheapest on the Thursday, which was here. We can start seeing that with the slightly cheaper icons, they dropped to that Monday, which we've talked a lot about the out-of-pack promos being the cheapest, and we can see these slightly cheaper icons, I'd say stuff under 500k. See, it was the cheapest on the Monday, but it didn't really rise out of packs after that initial rebound. We can also go and see with the likes of Socrates. This is where the expensive icons were the cheapest, but he crashed a fair bit out of packs. Monday wasn't a bad buy point, but the reality is they only rebounded or held for 1 week, then they went and crashed. We can then go and see the likes of Lam. We can see that Lam crashed there through to... This is where the expensive icons were the cheapest, and he kept dropping and dropping and dropping till the Monday. Had a slight rebound, but look at that. It went from 270 down there to 181. Probably because he got replaced by icon SBCs. So you can see with the cheaper icons, they're just not really holding value. Again, I'd probably say Monday's your buy time, but it's still not, overly appetizing. Once again, there's the Monday we're looking at. We're looking at Hiera here, nice and cheap icon. We'll leave it in and rebounded 70 all the way up there to 75. Not impressive, but what I will say is at least it wasn't regressive. But there we go. You can see the likes of Hiero. Likes of Schmeichel as well. We can see that the cheap point on him, again, Black Friday hitting here. We're looking at the Monday. Sunday was cheap, but I'd say Monday wasn't looking too bad. And he rebounded for 170 to 224. That's because he was a goalkeeper, and goalkeepers seem to have really good rebounds last year. Now looking at Smith, and again, we can see that she kind of dropped all the way through to the Monday. So the conclusive or takeaway from this is that icons over 700k, I'd probably go and look at buying them Thursday before Black Friday. Icons under 500k, I would say go and look at picking them up on the Monday after Black Friday. Now we're going to have a little look at the Thunderstruck Promo. I'm sure there are some really, really nice names in that Thunderstruck Promo that you guys are interested in. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to talk a little bit about when is the best time to go and pick up some of these Thunderstrucks. Because these cards were very, very nice actually as an investment. So we're going to start with the expensive ones, and we can see once again that Monday is appearing. It's the Monday after Black Friday, and we can see Puskas rebounded here all the way from 2.4 million up there to 2.9 million. We can then see Cafu once again that Monday. He went from 1.3 million up there to 1.8 million. We can then head to Van der Sar. We can see once again, no. The Monday wasn't the cheapest, it was actually the Sunday, but I'll be honest with you, I would just go off the trend of the Monday because, again, all you're doing is paying a 16k increase, and the card went up like 150k anyway, so proportionately, it doesn't really matter too much. Luis Figo, this was an interesting one. Monday was our first low point, then he rebounded, then he was cheap on the Thursday with Div Rivals. Didn't have a great rebound on the likes of Figo. Yeah, only went up 90k. Potentially due to the team that he was linked to, potentially underperforming. But yeah, not too amazing. And there's an interesting trend right here that EA just straight up refused to increase the price ranges of Thunderstruck Alonso. But interesting enough, after like 3 weeks, the card just kind of rose anyway. But yeah, it was very weird. EA does go through stints where they just refuse to update the cheap players' price ranges. Did they do the same with Skulls, if I'm not wrong? Yeah, they did the same with Skulls, where Skulls didn't really rise until late December. What about Perez? Were they good with Perez? Now, I'd like to say they're more reactive. I mean, there you go. They literally increased his price range late December and he went from 200 to 70. So, do maybe be aware of that. What about the Thunderstruck Gold cards? So, like we said, the Monday was the cheap on the icons. When was the cheap on the gold cards? Well, interesting enough, Varane actually dropped out of packs, although I would say he was more in the minority. We can see right here, Frimpong went from 530 and he rebounded up there to 700. Once again, cheapest on the Monday. Next one, Vinicius Jr. was the cheapest on the Monday, rebounded only 600k out of packs. Then heads to likes of Tierney. Again, didn't really matter when you bought him because it was a cheapo, but it did rebound nicely from 11k and went all the way up there to 16k within a week. Breme, again, I'd happily go and buy him on the Monday for 42. He went up to 103 in about 2 weeks. And Emre Can, again, cheapest on the Sunday, Monday, 70k, and he rebounded up there to 87 in a week. So we can see once again, a Monday is popping up, and again, that is the Monday after Black Friday, basically this time next week, in which you'll be looking at buying Thunderstruck cards as well. Just a quick look at the heroes, basically follow the same sort of trends as the icons. There we go. We can see that he was the cheapest on the Thursday before Black Friday and then kind of rebounded for a week. It wasn't great though. We can then look at Ginola, again was the cheapest on the Wednesday, Thursday, and then he went and rebounded until the Friday. We can then look at Lucio, again he dropped very heavily down to 720 but rebounded very, very nicely. Again, only rebounded for 1 week, then started drop, so kind of showing the trend of the lower tier icons. We can see now, when we're starting to look at the heroes that aren't 700k, the ones that are cheaper, they dropped all the way through to the Monday again. So again, we're seeing the same sort of split for the heroes than we did icons, which I feel like should be quite expected, where the ones that are over 700k, we went and bought them on Thursday before Div Rivals. Those under 500k, especially the cheaper you get, the more incentive to do weight, you're going to go and buy on the Monday. And you can see a rise there Monday to Friday. Lizaru, again, same sort of thing. Cheaper players, just not looking too great. Monday was a low point, but there just really wasn't a great rebound. And it's just due to how cheap these cards were. The cheap cards didn't do great. We can see right here on the likes of Company, was actually the cheapest on the Thursday, despite only being 400k. Although I'll be honest with you, it wouldn't have been the end of the world if you had to wait till Monday, because he's still 421, and he still rebounded up there to 500. So even though, you know, he was obviously under 500k, so you'd normally wait till Monday, he was the cheapest on the Thursday, but it wouldn't have been too bad. And just show you what happens with the cheap ones right here. We can see, once again, Monday not being a bad point on these. Thursday wasn't too low, but the rebound just wasn't great. And that's one thing I've really just got to push in, is that a lot of people are going to think they can go and buy their teams and hold on to their teams for a week or two because, you know, they crashed so much for Black Friday, so they've got a rebound. Honestly, stuff under 300k, unless it was a link investment, unless it was a, I don't know, a Thunderstruck card maybe, or maybe a live card. Unless the cards are live, there's just no hype around buying 300k cards. So do just be aware, there's, you know, a lot of cards you can't buy for your team without actually losing any coins. But I'd say that is going to go and wrap up the guide. As I say, obviously I've used last year's trends, and some would say, well, what if the trends are different? Well, the problem is if you don't go and use previous year's trends, then you're just shooting in the dark. You know, anything can happen. And I'd say this year it's been very, very consistent into following last year's trends. In fact, the crash that we're getting right now going into Black Friday, very, very comparable to last year's trends. Now, what variables could go and affect, you know, these trends? SBCs, obviously SBCs could go and replace certain players, or maybe we get more high caliber SBCs, although I understand we did get that Mbappe POTM, so yes, there is a Vinicius Jr. POTM expected, but we did have the equivalent last year, and again, we don't know what player SBCs are coming next week, but I don't think it would vary too much. EA might, again, make glitches, there might be problems with the game and stuff like that, and as a result, maybe then there's compensation, and maybe that messes it all up. But I'll be honest with you, I would very happily go off of last year's trends to follow this year's. Maybe if they don't start following last year's trends off of a Friday, maybe we will reevaluate, but at least going into Black Friday, we're more than happy to go and take on last year's trends as what should be happening. But that is going to go and wrap that up. Hopefully it's going to help you guys with when to go and buy stuff. If you own anything, probably just sell it, especially if you're watching this on a Monday. But that's going to be that. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.